The 2026 golf season is here at Golfdom and Worldwide Golf. Oh, you heard me, it's here. Maybe not outside your window where there's snow and ice and frozen dormant grass, but it's here and alive with your upcoming winter golf getaway. It's here as you think, I need a new travel bag, like my Sun Mountain Club Glider Meridian model, the best damn travel bag I've ever owned. Or maybe you want some great high-tech thermal golf outerwear as you steal a few rounds on a 45-degree day here in the DMV. Or maybe the golf season is here as you get ready to stock up on ammunition for the season by going into Golfdom and shopping for the right ball for your game and talking to their trusted golf-savvy reps in store. All about the options you have today and then getting at least enough to make it through, 4th of July. So just like the new season of the Capital Golf Gang is here, so too is golf season at Golfdom. Get into any location in the DMV, Tysons, Rockville, and Annapolis, or shop online at golfdomgolf.com. Or wherever you go, look for the Worldwide Golf logo and get the best for your game.
In the shadow of the most powerful city in the world, the Capital Golf Gang is on the air with instructor John Ronis from Beacon Hill Golf Club, Executive Director of the Middle Atlantic PGA, John Gould, and Worldwide Golf Executive and former owner of Golfdom, Buddy Christensen. And now your host, sports radio legend in the DMV, Steve Zabin.
Another edition of the Capital Golf Gang, plausibly live from the center fitting studio here at Golfdom. We have the gang assembled. We have John Ronis, the director of golf at Beacon Hill. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Spectacular.
I love it. Wearing a thick-looking hoodie on April 22nd today.
Yeah.
That is the what cup?
This is the Levinson Cup that I was so nicely invited to down at the Grove this year. It was a great time. So
very nice
to be invited.
Buddy Christensen, Golfdom, you are also wearing a hoodie today.
I did wear a hoodie. I usually
It's a little
don't on a
chilly
work
today.
day, but yeah, it's right weather for it.
Get these hoodie days in. I'm wearing a vest today. This is the last kind of like double layer day we're going to have.
I think
because
so.
the hot is coming.
Yep.
And Alec Dixon is back from Beltway Golfer Magazine. Little golf clap for Alex. Not only is he standing up a beautiful magazine, and I love physical media, Alex, I'm glad you're doing it in Beltway Golfer, but he's a plaintiff in a federal lawsuit. Nice. I mean, that sounds like fun, man. Like, if anytime you can be a plaintiff in a lawsuit, you got to jump in. This is versus the Trump administration over East Potomac, Langston, and Rock Creek.
That's right. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Good to have you back.
Hopefully no one comes in during the show and takes him.
I have many questions about that.
Yeah.
We're going to get to it in a second. But first, you ever show up to a course for a round of golf you're very excited about, and then you realize you forgot your golf shoes somehow?
Yeah.
Or something else critical, like maybe your whole bag of clubs? Mm-hmm. I am that guy today. I forgot my laptop. The laptop that drives the little Jumbotron here so I can show you guys media.
I was wondering,
the
you got the
laptop
phone
that
there.
has my stuff in it. Focus, checklists. Come on, man. Unacceptable.
But you're still able to do this without
Well, I'm able to do it because I use Evernote, which is synced to my phone, and I can now see what I've got here. But I have a lot of stuff I wanted to show you guys. I'm going to have to hold the phone up.
We'll just describe it.
Okay. We got
Like
the
the old days.
Live Tour and their demise being, quote, greatly exaggerated, or maybe not so much. We do have Alex's firsthand account of where things stand with the suit against the Trump administration over the three courses in D.C. itself. We got Fitzy winning at Harbortown and a bunch of other stuff as well. So let's jump right in. The Live Tour, boys. Either it's hanging on by a thread or there's just a bunch of haters out there who want it dead, and they're going to be disappointed because, as Scott O'Neill said, it is full throttle ahead for the rest of this year.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it's just like some of it is almost like we just got to do something to get in the news, just to get some eyeballs on the
You
situation.
think they orchestrated this?
No, I really don't. But this is my kind of take on the whole thing. I think geopolitically, the Saudis are no longer in the situation that they were in 3 or 4 years ago, where they were a bit of a pariah, right? We talked about sports washing to try to get them to get back into a better name, especially after some of the heinous things that took place there. The supreme ruler, whatever you want to, what is King?
His Excellency, Yasir Al-Rumayyan.
He's dedicated to...
Actually, MBS is the supreme ruler, Mohammed bin Salman.
So modernizing Saudi Arabia, bringing eyeballs, bringing tourists, and a master plan there. And I think the sports had a lot to do with that. I think now they realize that they no longer need, because of their position in the world and somewhat of a peacekeeper in the Middle East, that they don't need that anymore. So some of these losses, these lost leaders that they've gotten involved in, I think they no longer need those in their portfolio.
Well, it is true that there has been a big pullback on a number of sports ventures and projects with the Saudis, and the LIV is certainly one of them. But it all started, buddy, with the tweet from from Monday Qualifier. I forget the guy's name that runs Monday Q. Ryan French.
Yep.
He tweeted, "I keep hearing from well-placed sources that a bombshell announcement is expected from the LIV Tour on Thursday." This was last week.
Yep.
And there was no bombshell, but there was a lot of atmospheric reporting that has so far not really materialized.
No, and Scott O'Neill did come out and say full steam ahead. Then he kind of backed off of that, right? Later on?
So then what happened as I set up the narrative, then I'll shut up and let you guys opine. But then there was an interview that O'Neill did with TNT UK. I'm like, there's a TNT in UK? Yeah. Okay, whatever. And in the interview, he admitted that the funding for LIV was only good through the end of this year. He had previously told Sergio and others, "Oh no, our sugar daddy, he's got us until 2032." And that was a change in their stance. So once that came out, the interview was out there briefly. Then it got taken off the internet entirely. Get that off the internet. Then they put it back up, but with the comments by O'Neill snipped out about, well, we've got money through the end of the year. And then, like all startups, we're going to work like crazy to build a business and to grow a business. That's not unlike anything else that happens in the world of private equity.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they did pull that and put it back up in that fashion. But
that's the whole thing right there.
Well, then through the weekend, they had Bryson drop out Saturday night into Sunday.
Oh, don't forget, he started the week by bitching about the conditions down there.
Rightly so.
Chapultepec.
And
Chipotle golf club where they're playing.
And I read that Faraday and the other guy went on this
Arlo
diatribe.
White and David Faraday. I was going to play the bite. I forgot my laptop. I'm very pissed about it. But yes, they played a bite in which they were like, "Oh my God, these rumors are so absurd. Arlo White speaks like this. Just take a day off and enjoy the golf." Faraday was all like, "There's so many fast typists out there who consider themselves journalists." It was a lot of harumphing, basically.
It was, and then all of a sudden it went dark after that.
And then they lost power for an hour.
Right.
So
due to technical issues. Yeah, difficulties.
So I guess there's plenty going on there.
But the tournament happened.
It did.
John Rahm won it going away because with Bryson out, who does he have to beat, basically?
Yep.
Right? And they secured at the end of the week an announcement that they'll be back at Chipotle Golf Club in 2027.
Yes.
Now, those agreements can be folded up and canceled at all times, like a hotel reservation, but still. So I would say they kind of saved the week. Alex, let me get you in on this. What did you make of the LIV week that was with the rampant speculation?
Yeah, the other piece that you left out that I thought was kind of interesting that, again, could mean nothing, but that I think it's Smash Golf Club rebranded to Oklahoma City.
OKGC, baby.
OKGC, right. Yeah, Oklahoma Golf Club, led by
Taylor Gooch.
Taylor Gooch. Yeah.
Taylor Gooch, who's a native of Oklahoma. I will pay $10 to anyone who can name the rest of now OKGC. Go.
Can I get $3.33 and say Harold Varner?
Harold Varner III is.
I saw him in the video. That was it.
Why am I forgetting? The Northern Irishman that won the U.S. Open.
Graham McDowell.
Graham McDowell. He's on there.
And then the fourth one you won't get, Jason Kokrak.
There you go.
So Gooch from Oklahoma, Kokrak from Ontario, Canada. Varner is from Gastonia, North Carolina, and Graham McDowell's from Portrush. Nothing says Oklahoma quite like that.
Yeah.
And O'Neill, Alex, said, look, I'm making a bet on $7 billion, not a bet on $340 million, meaning the size of the U.S. market is 340, and the rest of the world, 7 billion people. That's the bet he's making.
If we're assuming the original clip is true, that they're only funded through the end of the year, and then they've got to work like a startup and really make a business, they're done. I mean,
They're toast.
They're so far. They're so far
cooked.
under.
Yes.
I mean, there's the amount that they're paying these guys, the amount that they're spending. I mean, I'm sure everyone here is
$30 million a tournament.
You go to one of these tournaments, and the tournaments are fun to go to. I mean, it's almost impressive how many activations there are outside of the tournament, all the music, all the stuff's going on. It's great fun, but you also have to sit back and say, man, how much money are they spending to put this on? The amount of money.
They lose $30 million a tournament.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, there's no way they can flip this into a business because as soon as they try to, all the players are going to go bye-bye.
Right.
And it was just a poor business model to begin with. You sent us a text with the original teams 4 years ago.
Yeah,
4 years ago.
That's funny.
I'll just read you the first team because it's just unbelievable. Dustin Johnson, okay? Every team has someone.
Right.
Sean Norris, Oliver Becker, and Kevin Yuan. That's the first team.
They were the aces.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and then Phil had Justin Harding, TK Chanamwanamwat, Chase Kepka. Chase.
That's
yes,
right.
that was
So,
Brooks said, if I'm coming, you're going to hook my brother up with a spot.
Crushers were Peter Uline, Richard Bland, Travis Smythe. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, actually,
But
the
this
fields
is-
are stronger now than they were then.
They
Well,
are,
this
but
is before they poached a few other guys.
But that was what their
obviously.
business model was based on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it was
like,
the business.
It's not going to work.
Well,
completely-
Bryson's EBITDA positive, right?
Yeah, he said the Crushers have been EBITDA positive
Oh,
for a while
excellent.
now. That's
Excellent.
great. Old Bryson there. Yeah, the whole, I mean, look, Scott O'Neill's got to do what Scott O'Neill's got to do, which is to paint the most cheery picture going forward because there is no business that can support what they're doing. And you can say, well, there's 7 billion people worldwide. Doesn't mean there's that many people that want to play golf. There's a lot of people that are living in abject poverty of that 7 billion.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to eat, not worried about the Crushers or now the OKGC. By the way, if you're making a bet on the rest of the world, why would you so tie a team to the smallest market in your league in America?
That's in the U.S.
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. I keep
Not
hearing
New York,
the show tune
not
of
LA.
Oklahoma on that.
The one thing I'll give Liv that they've exposed that it is a good thing that either the PGA Tour or golf needs to do more of is the tournaments they hosted in Australia and in South Africa were clearly great. And
They're
they're
great.
really well attended, and those parts of the world have huge golf fan bases and big golf communities. There's got to be a way, if Liv is done in the next year, 2-3 years,
Right.
whatever, there's got to be a way to find out how to get golf tournaments there because it's obviously a huge market.
Well, you're right that those parts of the globe are starved for top flight golf and the stars. They need to see the stars once in a while. They never come down there, basically. On the odd occasion, the President's Cup was one of the events where it's like, holy shit, there's some worldwide golfers. We know there's Tigers coming as well. Yep. Same thing for Korea, Thailand, Singapore. Those are viable, yes, markets that matter. But they're a small part, and they don't have the corporate infrastructure to build a tour out of, and nobody can endure flying all over the place for these things.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're talking
players
about
can't.
the United States has, let's just say, 25, 30 events that are supported in just the United States where you can just fly to or even drive to. And some of them, we're talking about the rest of the world having 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense, right? And I totally agree with you, Alex. I mean, you got to figure out how to do that in the off season or whatever, but you just can't base a business upon it, a business model.
So that then spins into further questions about what could happen next. It's hard to believe anyone's going to buy into the Live Tour, given that there is such a stench on its demise at this point. I talked to Marty Conway, who is a professor of sports marketing and business at Georgetown over the weekend, and he's he's oddly quite pro-live because he consults for a lot of international sports entities.
Interesting.
And including many Saudi tangentially or directly backed ventures. And he's not a golfer like we are. So he kind of gives me shit about, man, like you golf people are so insulated when it comes to like what you say about Augusta and you can't step out of line. He was sending me the video of Kiz who backtracked.
Yes, he did.
Big time.
Yeah.
Moonwalked on his comments.
Total apology.
And that proved our instincts right because right here on this set, we killed him right away saying, dummy, what are you saying?
Yep.
But anyway, so Marty said if they could just sell some of these teams to get someone to buy a stake in the teams, that would go a long way. And I said, so what's the going rate for the range goats? And his answer was $1 billion.
Yeah,
I said to you, Marty, do you hear yourself speaking? $1 billion for the range goats. What do you get? What are your assets? And he just defaults to this is what F1 teams are going for, and this is what F1 was built on. And I'm like, but golf is not F1. The people who watch F1. Also, F1 is the elite of the elite racing circuit in the world. It has the best drivers. It has the best cars and tech. There is basically no restriction on the amount of money you can spend. They go to the most elite European cities and global cities that attract whales and Vegas. They get the whales to go to Vegas.
But you have that in fantasy golf.
But the live is
just you pick your own team.
The live is the opposite. The live is not the elite of the elite, and it's like a dirt track in New Hampshire as racing to Formula One.
Well, you're buying a Lamborghini, kind of an old Lamborghini, and 3 other Pintos.
No, not even that. Dirt track in Concord with Dale Earnhardt Jr. out of retirement, racing in it.
Right.
Congratulations. Come see. It's Dale Jr.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it's headed for a fold-up or something at the end of the year. No matter how many tournaments they say, well, we got an agreement to go back to Mexico. We got an agreement back to Australia. Okay, we'll see about that. What then happens to the players stranded on Live Island? The two that matter, Bryson and Rahm. Round the horn. What happens?
I think you just offer them the same package that Reed and Koepka got, and you bring them over right away.
$5 million to charity. Have to sit out. No exclusive events. No what do they call them? Limited field events.
The signature events.
Elevated events. Signature events. No bonus points.
Yeah, I mean you can't go back now. You can't go back with Reed and Koepka who made the jump.
But you know that Rolap said it was a one-time offer. Windows closing.
Yeah, I think you have to. You have to.
They would gladly do that. I totally agree. That's the formula. They already set it up. I think that was a little test of like, okay, here we go. We do have this. Certain guys can do it, and it's only a few. Maybe Cam Smith on top of those.
But am I wrong? Reed didn't even qualify for that. Reed has to sit out for a year, right?
Yeah, Reed went and earned his. Started to earn his way by going.
I think Reed didn't drop his status or something. He had a slightly different situation.
Well, he went and won in Europe to get his.
He's a DP Tour guy.
Yeah. So he's getting
doing
his
that. I think
But the exception that the PGA Tour stated was something very specific, like you had to win a major.
Well, that was
within the last 3 years, which Reed wasn't a part of.
Correct.
Right.
They specifically did that
where
to try to
Rahm and DeChambeau would be.
Right. And Mickelson and Reed, they basically came up with a number so that they could keep those guys out.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you think they'll welcome them back? And is it just them? Is it everybody? What about some of the other lessers?
They got some young studs out there that we don't know about over here that went straight there. That guy
out of college.
That went there.
They got to qualify.
They got to qualify. But my point is,
so Q School for the Corn Ferry.
Correct.
Yep.
And then you've got to go through the Corn Ferry gauntlet,
Yep.
like Michael did, our friend Michael Brennan.
Yeah, he never even played on the Corn
right over
Ferry.
it, but
he skipped over.
But you get an exemption into a tournament. Maybe you win it, but it's the same PGA Tour
and
of
if they're
Americas.
that good, if they're that good, they'll be able to do
Correct.
it. Yeah.
Correct.
I think the tour will make a convoluted tiered system, like kind of based on what they did for Koepka and DeChambeau and Rahm in theory. Then you've got the next group of guys that have won X number of tournaments, and then there's some other tier of people, how long you've been playing, and then something else for the brand new guys.
To get exactly who they want in there.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Is there a possibility, and I'm just throwing this out, that they get together with Liv, the Rolap and Liv sit down, Rolap and His Excellency Yasir get together, and they say, look, you guys are crapping out. We know that. We could use you, though, as our official silly season series of events. So go to Australia in October. Go to Hong Kong in November. Go to Singapore in December, whatever. I don't know if the weather works. But my point is, let this dumb boombox and shorts tour live in the rump season from September 1st to January.
I think Yasir's out, so he doesn't even care about making a deal. He just wants to save face. Just make it look like it wasn't just a colossal waste of money. But he doesn't really care about this. He'd love it for it to go away. No more funding at the end of the year. And
some say he wanted it. Some say he wanted it for two reasons: membership to Augusta and the RNA. That was it.
Maybe
literally.
And Rolap doesn't seem to be the guy who's going to really spend a whole lot of time negotiating.
Yeah, what's his point in doing that with Liv? That you just don't
money.
have to deal with it, and it's still moving.
But
Things are still moving.
They can get the same amount of money without
from SSG.
Liv. Yeah, without Liv.
Yeah.
You just go have your tournament in Queenstown,
Right.
and it would be very well attended. It would be a money maker. It's just getting guys there.
So you just want to bury them, kill them, bury them.
He's already burying his own PGA Tour events. Like, I don't.
We're going to talk about Hawaii in a second.
Yeah, but I don't know that he's looking to extend this thing out.
Who's he?
Right.
He's kind of doing the opposite.
Who's he?
Rolap.
Rolap.
Why-
Okay.
what's-
he
why
wants
does he-
to shorten the season anyway. He
yeah.
wants. Yeah. Okay. You're right. That's just I threw it out there as a dumb thing. Not that I'm sympathetic to saving Liv. I'm not anti-Liv. Some people think I am. I just think it's dumb. Does that make me anti?
No. It's just we have 5 players that it would be worth getting back on the PGA Tour, and everyone else, we may have potential players in there we don't know. That would be nice to give them a route. But again, the route would be the same as a kid coming out of college.
Yeah, and those guys got their payday. I mean, I don't know how their pay
You don't feel sorry
structures
for
work.
those guys.
I hope they already have it in the bank
I do
and not
too.
a bank that's located in the kingdom.
Yeah, I do too. And what I did find interesting too is the last couple of days there's been more, posts of the demise, if you will, and Lee Westwood and Ian Poulter seem to be responding to all of these, just like, hey, look at this ridiculous. And it's so funny that these guys are sitting home, just responding to all this stuff. Like, obviously there's something there.
Well, that's their job now.
Does Westwood golf anymore?
I don't even know.
Poulter, I definitely.
But
But also some of these guys are still going through the contracts, like the whole thing with DeChambeau. He's still in the middle of a negotiation. So even if they are funded through the end of the year, or they massage it to make it seem like they're funded longer, if there's any inkling that they're not and that it's in jeopardy, like a guy like DeChambeau, he's not gonna re-up.
Well,
and so he's gonna jump mid-season.
DeChambeau has let it be known, whether you believe him or not, that he could be just fine doing YouTube stuff and playing 4 majors a year.
And he thinks he can make his money that way. He just bought, and we'll give a little plug here.
Well, he's got enough money, but he thinks he would be fine from a holistic stance of this is enough proper
to keep
golf
himself
for me.
going. So he just bought Sportsbox AI, who is we're partners with in our fitting.
Okay.
And he's used that since the Pinehurst U.S. Open. He talked about it a lot afterwards. Small company, awesome stuff.
What is it?
It's
It's a box.
It's a video of your swing that they turn into an avatar. So they can take your swing and it can get you. It's a great teaching tool, and Bryson loves it. And a lot of these guys use it, and they can see where your hips are turning, where your knees are, everything.
Okay.
Promotes hooking.
And we do what's that?
Promotes hooking the ball.
Promotes hooking
Yeah,
the ball.
okay.
But
Great.
we use it we have an exclusive to use it for fitting. So we take certain aspects of it, but the real big package really is. So Bryson, it's right up Bryson's alley, like total technical.
Do you think, buddy, he could be, quote, fine just doing that?
Oh, no.
No. Alex?
I think he could be. DeChambeau's an odd duck, dude. I mean, he's different.
Really?
I'm not a big DeChambeau guy, but if there's anybody that could do it, it would be him.
I think for 2 years max.
Yeah.
Then he would lose his mind.
Well, and I also think the game would deteriorate without enough competition, so that his performance in the majors would be bad.
Ronis, do you think he could do that? Just To be like, this is my life, YouTube and
No.
4 majors?
No.
By the way, he would run out of some exemptions for the majors at some point. 'Cause
Sure.
He's not
Unless he
fully
wins.
exempt. Well, yeah, but he's got exemptions into 2 of them.
Win, and he thinks he will win or get in the top 12 or whatever it is. World ranking points will be gone, so that avenue is gone to get into the majors. So, yeah, he's got an exemption from winning, the U.S. Open, and that is, 5-year exemption?
Yeah.
So, it was 2 years ago. So, here we go.
All right.
2 years.
Rahm with the win is now in the top 20 of OWGR. So the fact they've started to dole some of this out to the Live has helped. He was below 120, I believe.
Yeah,
a year ago.
they're big points for these guys.
So good,
And
good
he
for
should
Rahm
be.
in that regard. Also drove a par 4, nearly had an ace.
Yeah.
Sick shot. Chipotle. Nice course, except for the areas in the shade. There's a lot of dirt there. DeChambeau pitching about it. Okay, so that brings us to the knock-on effect of all of this, which is PGA Tour quietly announced that, Hawaii is done. Both Kapalua as well as the Sony Open in lovely Wailea, Hawaii, as Vin Scully used to say. This is sad. You know what they say. The older you get, things start being taken away from you. Nobody's happy about this who's a golfer. That said, Ronas,
This is exactly the conversation we just had. Hawaii is far away.
that said, I totally understand.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. It's far away. You got to fly everyone over there who does all the, you got the guy who wraps the cords for the cameras. He's got to go
key
over
grips,
there. It's
gaffers,
expensive.
best boys,
So to say,
lighting techs.
then we're going to go from that, getting rid of Hawaii, and go over to Taiwan is probably not going to happen. So I totally understand it. It's just,
Okay, so
you know,
this was long rumored. It's now come to pass. Is it, buddy, a knock-on effect of what the Live has dragged out of the tour? This race to the bottom of unsustainability, because they bumped the Century to $25 million purse,
Right.
from 20, which was already too much.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is it's in January, competing with the NFL playoffs. Roll-ups, not into that either. So you kind of look at all these things together. I mean, I think it makes sense. I think it is sad. I still think of Aoki holing out on 18 in 1981 or whatever that was. And that's all gone now. So
I just don't know if I believe in the competing thing. Like, we've got to avoid competing with the NFL. You never were competing. You were just you were an extra thing at the buffet of sports.
yeah, but
The
Roll-Up
steak is the
wants it to
steak.
be Roll-Up wants it to be focused on their big events, and then why even have it? I mean, I don't necessarily agree with what he's doing, but
I think if you can do it affordably, which it's harder and harder going to Hawaii, but if you could do it affordably, I think there's a value in saying, we know we're the potatoes, we're not the steak, but we're still, Caesar still puts buffets, their potatoes at the buffet.
yeah.
but also Hawaii is not a rabid golfing place.
Yeah.
It'd be better to go to Minnesota.
It's all tourists, and it's very expensive, and then natives who live as well as they can, given how expensive it is,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Alex, your thoughts on losing Hawaii?
Does that mean there's room for the Kemper Open? Can we
Right.
can we bring it
Bring
through?
back the Kemper.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
God, I would love that so
Right.
much. So where would you go then for your beautiful winter shots? California, I guess. Now we're talking Pebble and Torrey and Riviera get more prominence because they are our winter eye candy back east for the PGA Tour whenever that starts, probably February.
Yeah, I mean, California's got perfect weather. You go to San Diego, it's a guarantee. So, yeah, I mean, let's take advantage of this country that has literally everything. I mean, I don't think you want to go to like Miami or something, and you can't go.
There's nothing visually spectacular enough.
And northern
down
Florida
in
could
South
be
Florida.
38 degrees. So
Right.
There is an
Yeah.
opportunity. I mean, there is, of course, there's something to tradition and seeing Wailea and seeing that same course every year.
53 years of tradition, by the way.
Yes, but there's a lot of that on the PGA Tour, and I would argue that the PGA Tour does sometimes get a little stale when you're seeing the same courses week after week. I love when they mix it up and bring in a new course into the fold.
Yes, I agree.
So I think there's an opportunity there, and they could always go back to Hawaii in 5-10 years. I mean, probably won't, but I'm excited to see what they bring in, and hopefully they can think outside the box and bring in something new.
And like last year, they went to Philly cricket or
that was cool.
whatever.
That was great.
Right. These are courses that we don't, go to a
You don't
Seminole.
normally see.
Go to a Seminole. Go to something like that. I think it's very, very, very good point there, because I do get excited to see maybe a course that I played that's never been played on the PGA
Problem
Tour.
is, the better courses that are more exotic want rent, and that costs monies.
Well,
And the tour doesn't like to pay
I will
monies.
tell you this, though.
You do know that the PGA Championship is going to fucking Frisco next year.
Yeah, that's a
Texas.
shame. Well, that's glad Gould's
you
not
gotta-
here.
yeah, you gotta
This is
talk
why
to
I'm
Gould.
bringing. This is why I'm bringing it up with Gould not here this
More
week.
money out of my non-pension.
Fucking Frisco. What?
Stupid. So, but having said that, a lot of these older courses that we're talking about are in dire need of some major renovations.
Yeah.
So they could use that rent as
They
an
could
upgrade.
use it, yeah.
Well, they could use it, but the tour doesn't want to pay for it.
But it's
They don't
not,
want to pay
it's
for
not
anything.
a ton. It's not a ton.
Okay.
It's not a ton.
I know this will also sound crazy. How about maybe build less mega corporate tents at these events that take months to clank, 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 hammer in, build, and tear down?
And people.
You mean all that money that they're going to give up?
Is it making a lot of money? I guess it must be.
I think it does.
I mean, every stadium, all the renovations have to do with the corporate suites.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I say one point on that? So I have to say, I'm not to throw this in there, but I just went to my first Masters.
Nice.
you.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
And that was one of my takeaways. I mean, obviously they have Berkman's Place, but that's kind of behind some
off,
It's
yeah.
behind some hedges. You don't really see it as a commoner like myself.
Right.
But that's one thing that it takes a little while, but you're like, wait a second. There's no corporate tents here.
Right.
There's no hospitality tents.
Right.
There's none of that. Like when you went to the BMW Championship at Caves Valley, and there's these 18,
Massive.
18 is just surrounded by massive infrastructure. None of that there.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah.
But I will say
Bergman's Place is outrageous.
so they have a much better setup than what you're talking about here, and it's called Berkman's Place. And that's how well they do
I'm
it.
sure.
They have it hidden back where you don't even
Right.
know it's there if you don't know it's there.
Yeah, right.
And
Well,
so-
yes, the Masters wants to keep their greed on the down low.
exactly.
We don't
No
want to
doubt.
have it. It's behind the bushes.
Right.
But it's generating a lot of money.
But I haven't
Actually,
been there, but I heard it is Disneyland.
It's off the
Oh,
charts.
I have a
Use
lawyer.
2 weeks a year.
My buddy,
Yeah.
my buddy, lawyer Dave in Atlanta has been to Berkman's Place now 3 years running, and he sent me a picture of the pass for it, and I go, "Oh, you whore!"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't think I could ever not go there now." He's like, "If I ever get invited to the Masters and it's not Berkman's Place, I'm like, I might say no." Okay, let's take a quick moment to remind people that now is the perfect time to come on into Golfdom and get fit for clubs, to get stocked up on balls, gloves, shoes, apparel, you name it. This place has everything. It's got some of the best fitters anywhere in the country, much less the DMV. And they're going to get you into clubs that fit your game and improve your game and make you happier. Okay, that's what they do here at Golfdom. Come on into Tyson's Corner, set up for a fitting, or just go to any Golfdom in the DMV area, including Annapolis and Rockville, or any Worldwide Golf shop. Look for the Worldwide Golf logo, and you'll be good to go. Mr. Dixon, talk to me about Beltway Golfer Magazine.
We're getting close. So last time I was here, I had to look it up. It was almost 6 months ago to the dot, and I was talking about it. We're close. We got all the content for the first issue done. It's got to be 80 pages plus cover, front and back. Wow. Premium stock, twice a year, spring and fall. We're close. We got a couple hundred subscribers already, waiting on it, or wondering when's this thing showing up in my mailbox. We're hoping to go to the printer within the next 2 weeks, and then hopefully it'll be in mailboxes by the end of May, and then we're off and running. This first one's been a little bit of a challenge. First time publishing a magazine, some hiccups. Trying to get this started in winter when you're trying to do some nice photography for a golf magazine. It's
hard,
You
yeah.
know, I might have rethought that if I was to do it again. So it got delayed a little bit trying to get some spring photography and that sort of stuff. But I'm really excited about it. It's going to be great.
Alex, how can we subscribe?
BeltwayGolfer.com. You can see a little button there for magazine, or you can just go BeltwayGolfer.com/magazine. It's right there.
Great.
Alex has been in the DMV pretty much your whole life.
Whole life.
And-
Other than a couple little spots during my 20s where I bounced around, but otherwise I'm
Born and raised in
Born and raised in Montgomery County, Garrett Park, Maryland, just outside the Beltway.
Moco kid, and has been in outside sales for a number of years. Passionate golfer. He's played every course that you can play here in the DMV? Except
Not everyone, but most of them.
Every public course?
I've never played the one the ball marker on your hat.
Oh, burning tree? Oh, look at that. I guess I did drag that out of the closet. Funny. I didn't know that. But you know the market and you know the area extremely well, and you're very well connected. And I love the fact that you are doing a very Don Quixote, tilting at windmills, swim back against the tide of technology, trying to put out and going to put out a beautiful physical piece of media, a magazine. A golf magazine for this area, of which my good friend Adam McKay used to do Pros and Hackers magazine. Mm-hmm. Love Adam. Miss him. I haven't talked to him in years, but he was great. He put it out. It was quite a labor of love, a labor of just, month to month. Washington Golf Monthly was a big one for a long time. That went under.
The smell of when you open up a magazine, like just the smell of the paper and we're just stuck on our stinking phones, and I'm too old now. I can barely read it. Like my font on my phone, you probably laugh when you see text come up here, but when you open up a magazine, it's really a book that you're talking. It's like an 80-page. Golly, it's just, and the brightness and the vivid colors. There's nothing like it.
There is, I believe, the VSJ puts out Virginia Golfer. Yep. That's their magazine. I get that.
They
it's
do a
beautiful.
great job. Yeah.
It's good. How many issues a year is it?
I think it's 6.
6, okay. So Beltway Golfer, look for it. Hopefully it'll be up and running. There's a website, though, people can go for more information?
Beltwaygolfer.com.
Okay, beltwaygolfer.com. Okay, good. Now, let's talk about you being a plaintiff in this lawsuit against the federal government.
Should we close the door before he starts talking?
In December, the Trump administration pretty much just said, nope, time's out, time's over, time's up, we're taking these courses back. The National Links Trust had been wonderfully caring for, improving, nurturing these 3 treasures of golf in our area back to some form of health and scraping up money and getting people that are committed to the cause and contributing. And they were moving along. And they were kind of given a very unrealistic, if not impossible task of meeting certain benchmarks that when, you couldn't because it was impossible or they weren't even approving permits or whatever, the government and the Trump administration said, nah, never mind. And everyone thinks that Trump has his eyes on a more luxury design at East Potomac, a.k.a. Haynes Point, in which it's going to serve not as many regular, working-class, inner-city golfers. I hate that. Where do we stand on what the government, what the administration's doing, Alex? And what is your lawsuit hoping to achieve? Not your lawsuit.
Sure. Yeah, I'm a small cog, and I'm one of a few different plaintiffs in the lawsuit. So the lawsuit is there's 2 separate pieces. One, there's the termination of the National Links Trust lease that ended on December 31st, January 1st, whatever. And they are still, when that happened, the administration basically gave them the option because the administration was not prepared to take over the golf courses and start the renovation. They said, you can either continue to run the golf courses on an interim basis without a lease in place to keep the courses open, or not, and we'll just shut everything down right now. Basically, was the assumption. Well, they weren't in place.
They don't have management skills.
Yeah, they didn't have anything. They didn't have anything in place to take over, and so National Links Trust agreed to take it over in an interim basis, and that's what they're doing now. The unfortunate part about that is there's no long-term security for staff, for employees, because they don't know if the Trump administration will say, okay, tomorrow, next week, or tomorrow, or next month, the day that we're going to start this whole process. But that's kind of separate from the lawsuit. The lawsuit is really
well. If you could put the pin in the lawsuit, I want to go ask something. So why would the NLT do that, given that there doesn't seem to be a lot of upside? Like, hey, we're kicking you out, but you can still mow the lawn and clean the house for a while longer. Why would NLT do that?
I think the biggest one, the most obvious one, is they actually give a crap about the local golf community.
That's a great answer, and I knew that would be one of your answers. The people who work at the golf courses, who have to pay rent and live, they don't want to be out of a job, and then the golfers who are served in those communities.
Yeah,
so those are good altruistic reasons.
Okay.
Is another reason, I'm just asking,
Sure,
to help extend the clock, where maybe in a few months the whims of the administration change and they go, you know what, never mind, here.
Oh yeah,
have it back.
I think that's a safe assumption.
Okay,
Absolutely. Yeah.
okay,
I
fair enough.
I don't think that's. I think absolutely to stay in the ball game.
Okay.
Whether or not
Stay in the game.
whether or not that's a long shot.
Or then another administration that comes in that Trump,
Right.
Trump's a golf guy,
Yeah.
but another administration comes in here and says, I don't give a shit about golf.
Oh, yeah.
So
I can assure you
go
the
ahead.
next
Take
administration
it
will
over.
not be nearly as obsessed about golf
Right.
as Trump. Okay. So now the lawsuit. The lawsuit says what?
The lawsuit is really just an injunction. It's got two main points. I like to describe it as three. One is it's really about the plans that the administration, Trump specifically, and Doug Burgum, the Secretary of the Department of the Interior, have talked about what their plans are for the golf course, which is they've kind of been scant with details, but they've talked about things like making it huge for business in D.C. and bringing in all kinds of money and making it a championship course, quote unquote. Bringing in a potential U.S. Open. At one point, there was mentioned a potential future Ryder Cup, which is completely absurd.
Pie in the sky stuff.
There's so many reasons that's absurd. Based on the actual property itself, based on the schedule of the Ryder Cup, based on a bunch.
Where are you going to park?
A bunch of different things.
There's no metro stop that goes to Haynes Point, people.
Right. But what the actual property is now, specifically East Potomac, but really all three golf courses, it's a place for the community. It's a place for up and coming golfers. There's a place for juniors. It's a place for people to go play golf on their lunch break, before work, after work, beginners. I'm teaching. I have a 10-year-old son. I taught him golf on the 9-hole red course. He's graduated to the white course. He hasn't yet played the blue course. But there's a ton of stories like that, and it's a place for kind of not everyone's blue collar, but for a lot of blue collar golfers in the local community. And what he wants to build, there's already so much of.
Right.
In this area.
In other words, it's not supposed to be fancy.
Right.
That's the point of it.
Right.
The problem is location, 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 buddy. It sits on an absolutely one-of-one spot in the heart of the nation's capital.
And he goes flying over it all the time. So he just gets to look down and say, oh, that's what I want.
Right.
But yeah, and you mentioned the blue collar. It's a beautiful mix of blue collar, powerful people in the government, wealthier people all playing in one place, and it's a really cool experience, as it's been right now. Where that goes,
And as well as open space and everything else for the environment.
Absolutely.
And everything
I
else.
wish there was another parcel of land that was currently just vacant or perhaps industrial that the government owned, and it was not East Potomac. And Trump said, hey, we're going to make a championship golf course here. And it'll be publicly accessible, but it's going to be $350, and we're going to host the Ryder Cup, U.S. Open, whatever. But we also still have this course over here, East Potomac, and we're going to make sure that runs. And but I'm just dreaming. That's the world is the way it is.
Yeah,
that's all. Because I can see the appeal of both, but I don't think the expense of nuking this crucial place for people to learn the game is at all worth whatever they would make.
And I think they've tried some. I mean, there's been a lot of. I don't know if even negotiations is the right terminology, but the idea that to stay involved is okay. Can National Links Trust keep working on Rock Creek and Langston, and maybe we do something together, or let the administration do what they want at East Potomac? I think that was shot down. You're talking about another place where the administration could potentially do what Trump wants. I don't think about what I'm about to say is not necessarily a big time professional golf tournament, but the courses at Andrews, at a joint force Andrews, that's a scenario that he is getting involved in.
Are they doing something to Andrews? The courses?
They are. It's not official yet, but he reporter asked him about it back in November, December, outside as he was getting outside of a helicopter, and he's bringing Jack Nicklaus in. The irony is he's never. He's the only president of my lifetime has never actually played it, but yes.
I played it once many years ago. It seemed to be very flat.
Yeah, but there's 36. There's still 36.
36 holes, very flat, and it's accessible for military members only.
Yeah.
And their families.
No, civilians can play.
Civilians can play. Okay.
I mean, there's some hoops you got to jump through, but
okay.
You have to give them all your information 72 hours in advance, all that kind of thing.
And if you're lucky, you can see Air Force One take off. Right
Sure.
near
You
there.
can see a
It's
lot
kind
of cool stuff
See a
taking
lot of cool equipment flying from there. Yeah. Okay. So, well, I hope it goes well. Like, these lawsuits tend to take years to wind their way through. When do you think you'll have a resolution?
Oh, I think that. I mean, in theory, there could be a resolution by the time this podcast comes out.
Oh, really?
There was an initial hearing about a month and a half ago. My dates are getting messed up.
Because the lawsuit's for an injuction, right?
It's for an injuction. This,
So
is,
that
this is
does
not like a
fast track
trial.
it.
There's no
Got
trial.
it,
There's not
okay.
like a jury, nothing like that.
Okay.
Like I'm a plaintiff. I'm not involved. The judge isn't asking me questions. I showed up to the hearing and I'm sitting in the back with everybody else. So the judge is asking the administration for some very specific things, record-wise, which brings me to so there's three kind of points on the lawsuit. The second point, which is related to this, is this massive pile of dirt that they dumped on the White Course at East Potomac, which is the dirt from the east wing of the White House project.
For the ballroom, yeah.
And so a piece of the injunction, so the injunction is really just to make the administration stop what they're doing and go through a proper process. And so part of the injunction is, what is in all this dirt? There's no evidence that they went through a proper abatement process or testing of all this dirt, and they kind of skirted all of the, I'm getting the terminology wrong, but like the water flow into the local waterway.
sure, yeah.
Believe me, I can
All that
tell you
kind
all
of stuff.
about that.
knows all about that.
Right, so they
can help.
didn't do any of that. So that's
Yeah.
that's part of it. And the larger thing I just want to point out about these golf courses, this isn't necessarily part of the lawsuit, but it's, personally part of my motivation, is the way the National Links Trust got these golf courses was a public RFP that the National Park Service did
Request for proposal.
back in 2019, because these golf courses were run by a company called Golf Course Specialists, which had just had a concessionaire contract that was at some point just became renewable every year.
Auto renew.
Yeah, so they didn't have any motivation or bandwidth, or weren't allowed to really invest in the properties. So the National Park Service understood and recognized that and said, we want to do an RFP for a long-term leaseholder that could really make these courses great. And that's what National Links Trust won, and that's what they're working on. If this administration or any administration just jumps in and says, no, you're out, we're going to do our own thing, without the proper process and without that lease in place and with all these things in place, that's community involved and everything like that, then once this administration's out, the next administration can say, well, we don't like what you did. We're going to do our thing. And then the next and it becomes this like political football where just
It's similar to what oil drilling, right? It's like, okay, well, you can go drill, and then the next administration says, we're going to put billions of dollars into these things, and then this next administration comes in and says no. Right. It's like this revolving circle, and that's why it's rare that you can get a company like Links National Trust that they're actually motivated for both reasons. Right. Yes, they're going to make some money, but they really want to add to the community. I mean, it just doesn't happen in business anymore. Yeah. So it really is. It's just simply a shame.
It is a shame.
It's really, you can't even say anything more. It's a shame.
You touched on Langston and Rock Creek. They're just kind of lost in the shuffle in this whole thing, right? Yeah. So
no, they just haven't said what their plans are, really.
Right. But it doesn't seem like the administration has any interest.
No, they don't care. Trump doesn't give a crap about those two.
Yeah. Right.
So definitely doesn't seem like Rock Creek. I mean, Langston, I've heard some things that they would probably keep it. I know the administration's gone over and talked to some employees over there, so I don't think they would get rid of Langston. Rock Creek, they've said nothing. Yeah. So who knows?
Well, I hate it, and I wish it weren't the way it is, but we live in the real world. So good luck on the injunction, and we'll keep an eye out. Make sure to text me.
Keep us updated on that.
Make sure to text me when it comes down. I'm sure it'll end up in my feed because there's a lot of people interested in it. So, yeah. Other local course news, I understand one of my boyhood courses, Reston National, is in a current battle royale.
Yeah, I mean that's a fight that seems to be always going on, but yeah, there's a kind of a renewed fight.
Reston National, which is a winding public course that goes through all kinds of 70s era single-family homes and townhomes in Reston, Virginia. Lovely layout. The bones are great. It's up, it's down, it's around, it's through. You got to cross over a couple cul-de-sacs and roads along the way. Played it so many times. Always had great times there. And that land is valuable now, and they want to build more houses.
And Dave, when we were growing up in the 80s, it was nicer than most country clubs around here.
It was on par with.
It was spectacular back then.
Right. The latest proposal over there, so a group bought that, this group Warhorse Cities, which was owned by the brother of Kevin Plank, Under Armour. But they depending on who you talk to, they wildly overpaid for Reston National to buy the golf course
for a reason.
with the idea that if
I'm not buying a golf course. I'm buying a future condo development.
right.
Well,
Exactly.
that and Hidden Creek.
Yep.
Really,
Hidden Creek is
are-
the private club nearby.
Yeah, those are two courses that basically have been setting themselves, and I'm just saying what I've been told, setting themselves up to actually, in Reston National, really more than Hidden Creek, to be a non-viable facility.
Setting them up to fail.
Fail so
Correct.
that they can come in and say, well, obviously a golf course doesn't work here, so we're just gonna get the infrastructure going and we're gonna build the condos. Like they want to be non-viable, the owners.
Yeah, I mean, so they were shot down last year by the Fairfax County Commission, and so they to their credit, they did come up with a kind of a secondary alternative that I think they're trying to push now, which is essentially revamping. I forget how many holes, 3, 4, 5 holes. And then taking a corner of the golf course where they can get their townhomes.
Yeah.
I forget the exact number of townhomes, but it's a good number of townhomes. And then they're going to build like a double-decker driving range, maybe a lighted driving range, and then basically shorten and
Where the range is now? The range was always kind of short. It had a net at the end.
Yeah, I think
probably
that
take
the
some
map
holes.
is almost. It's almost. I'm trying to remember the holes. Like almost like west of 1, like almost by 18 over there.
Yeah.
On that side.
And in doing this, I just saw this on the news that they're trying to use like an injunction from the 1960s.
Yeah.
That they can say that they can grandfather in some of these laws from
Right.
then. So, which obviously in the 1960s, we know growing up in McLean. Like people like, oh, McLean, rich kid. Well, McLean was in the middle of nowhere in 1968 when we moved there, and Reston pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, it's one of my favorite courses. I hope it survives this, but I don't have high expectations. Redgate went south as a public course out there in Rockville, and they've done nothing with it.
it's
since
not
then.
going to survive it. It's
I don't.
just
But
not.
how long's this Reston thing been going on? It's been years and years.
Oh, years
Yeah.
and years. I mean,
So-
this group is not the first one to try to flip
Right.
the.
Wheelock
the
was
count.
involved in some of these things.
So that's hope, at least,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They've made
Yeah.
it this far.
Hope that they'll eventually just give up and be like, we can't convert this to more homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
mean,
hope.
okay, so Redgate in Rockville, which my late father used to say, Stephen, that's the greatest use of industrial scrub land I've ever seen. Hated the place because it was a wild up and down ride. But it was a good public course. It had good greens. It's challenging. It was interesting. They closed that down, and it's just empty space now. It's like a park. It's like a big
park.
That's what bothers me when they close some of these courses down, like near us, West Park, which was never a nice course. But
West Park is another one that's
But it
closed
was-
down. Are they building on it
no,
yet?
there's nothing
Is
there.
that hotel still sitting there?
No, they crushed
They
that
did
down,
take
and,
that
and
down,
Chuck
okay.
Kuhn had
Okay.
bought it originally and then sold some of it back to the county. He's building some of his things where that site is, but the rest of the golf course now is owned, I believe, by the county, and they're just going to have like the walking trails from the cart path. Like
Waste of space.
that's just a shame because that really
Let golfers walk those spaces.
Yeah.
And
You
in
can
the-
walk your dog anywhere else.
right. And in the mindset of even though we're in the wealthiest county in America, you need a golf course right up the street, Goose Creek as well. You need
That
a
went
golf
down for
course
houses.
that can be $37 or $45 or
Absolutely.
whatever it may be. We don't have it, so the game really. Fortunately, the game has grown because of COVID, but that was the way the game. Not necessarily, it did grow because they let juniors out there, but it also lingered with the people who were retired who couldn't afford to do certain things, so they would go out there and they would have twilight rates and all the other stuff. Those golf courses are gone. Everything's $100, $200 around.
What's unfortunate too, and I think that this is kind of a new trend that's happening in golf, is these unconventional size golf courses, like not 18, not even 9, like sometimes 12 or 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
And both of those cases, West Park and Leesburg, but also Goose Creek. I was out there not that long ago, and Goose Creek's been closed for a long time, like a decade, and they already did the houses. There's still, where the clubhouse sits is unused. There's probably 4 or 5 of the original holes, maybe more, that are were never part of those plans.
And there's a Sterling par 3 down the street.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
But
definitely use those.
it's not going to be an 18-hole golf course. I'd love to see like them just bring back, bring back 4 holes,
A 5-hole course,
or make it a
9-hole.
make it a little 9-hole par 3, something. But then now that land is just not used at all. And it's the same thing at West Park. All those corridors are still there.
Oh, they're all there.
Yeah.
They have not built one thing on the golf course.
Yeah,
The
it's a
only
shame.
thing is what's going on up top. Nothing to do with the golf course. You could light that thing up pretty quickly, actually. But yeah, again, it's a shame because that was a total waste. That was a total sham with the county and Leesburg town of that they were trying to put not industrial. They were trying to put retail space and things in, and when that all failed,
Retail.
I mean, it's a cruddy area right there.
The retail over there, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Like there's not enough retail.
I know.
You turn
How many
around. It's the
7-Elevens
retail's
do we
right
need?
behind
There's
you.
right up the street. There's two 7-Elevens right across the street from each other. It's fascinating.
Oh, God, it's going to make me sad. I mean, Woody's Range, houses.
Yep.
Goose Creek, houses. West Park, done.
Yeah.
Virginia National, overrun by weeds.
Yeah.
Redgate, dog park.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Reston National now under siege, buddy.
Now we got to worry about data centers taking these things over too.
Oh, Lord, help
Yeah.
me.
Yep.
Okay, I got a couple of did you sees, and then we'll wrap it up today. Did you see, there's a couple of interesting things. Did you see Gary Woodland's 4-iron for
Yes.
Eagle
Unreal.
on 18 at Harbortown?
Did you see the
The
launch
guys could-
angle?
The guys couldn't hit the green though, and
It was they were 254 off the tee, which think of a modern tour pro and the fastest guy on tour in Woodland.
Yeah.
How hard was that wind blowing off the Calabogie Sound?
Yeah.
That they could only move it out there 254. He had
One of the
204
longer
left
ones.
in, and he hit this low, piercing missile to a tiny little shelf of a corner of that green right next to the marsh. Jarred it. Fitzpatrick's 4-iron on the second playoff hole was one of the greatest shots I've ever seen, but I had already seen Woodlands. I was like, well, you're still second place.
Yeah, exactly.
And you saw Scotty's second shot was literally
Flail
30,
out,
30 or
right?
40 yards
Yeah.
short.
You know, it's funny. I had a buddy ask me, he texted me, he's like, what happened on Scotty's second shot? I go, I think he caught it fat and let it get up in the air, and that was that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
fanned it.
Right. And my friend was like, really? Scheffler? And I go, yeah, they're the best players in the world, but when the wind's blowing like that, you have to strike it perfect.
I think that's why there's an argument why Fitzpatrick is better. You know, the situation, the pressure, and after you saw what Scheffler did,
He
gave you an
admitted
example.
he pulled it as well. He admitted, he's like, I
Well,
was not really aiming there, but I
The
pulled
club
it a
got
bit.
stuck in the ground and he let go with
Yeah.
that left hand. But I mean, it was great. That was. I watched the whole end of that
I
tournament.
watched
That
the
was-
last 9 holes.
Fitzy's great. I'm growing on this British nerd all the time. I love the fact that his parents took him there as a kid growing up from England, and he's got a fond place. I've got a fond place for Harbortown and that whole place as well. So good for him. And he found a way to add speed. He was one of the shortest, slowest drivers out there. And he's somehow found speed, and he can hang and bang with the
without
big
like a
boys.
whole lot of weights. It looks like. He
Right.
looks like
It's
a
a
little.
little
Still
thicker.
looks
Looks a little
but
pudgy still.
He also
dad
didn't
bod.
take the candy of being able to, take the crowd. He just
Well,
kind of
he
He
like
also
He can
said he
handle
didn't.
it.
He said he didn't mind the
Yeah.
fact that there was chance of USA. Dumbest shit ever.
it
by the
is
way.
Dumbest.
dumb.
Dumbest shit
But
ever.
he didn't. He could have blown up on all that whole stuff. But he was cool about it. But I agree, that was stupid.
Yeah, and then when he celebrated, he just did a little finger to his
Yep.
ear, like, "Oh,
Yep.
look at that! I just won there." Okay, did you see that they're going to have shot times coming to the KFT Tour next year?
Good.
Next month, average shot times for Korn Ferry Tour players will be made public. There'll be a ranking of the fastest and slowest players, and they'll sort times by shot category. One objective is to change the negative perception around the speed of play of some of the players.
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
I
lay it out there.
love this.
Yeah.
That's great, but
no one
but,
wants to be on
but it's
that
the
list.
Corn Ferry Tour. But people's main complaint. I mean,
It's got to start
You
somewhere.
got to
agree.
start
I
somewhere.
totally agree,
It's the
of course.
minor league baseball to bring it up to the
I
majors
get it.
type of
If, you're
deal.
ta- if,
Yeah, I
that-
like
if
it.
that's their plan, then yes.
Yeah.
Minor league ball started with the experimental rules as well as the pitch clock.
Yep.
And now the robo-ump.
Yep.
It'll all graduate up eventually if it proves to be a good idea.
And that's hopefully our future superstars. And you don't want to start on the PGA Tour with the reputation that you're slow.
Right.
Did you see Kirkland's signature wedges have been approved by the USGA?
Sweet.
I don't
I've been
know
waiting.
I don't know, buddy, if you're sweating in your boots here. I golfed them over Costco and their signature wedges.
Hey, we'll see. But
Slightly
we won't
different
have it, of
clientele.
course. But
I want somebody to come in here and ask John or somebody, can you fit me for some Kirkland wedges?
Yeah.
I bought a bunch
no.
with 2 pounds of crab legs. Here, I got those in the car. Can you fit me for these? And
do it quick.
John would be like, they're all the same shaft. They're the same specs. It's Costco, for God's sakes. Did you see John Rahm's caddy is selling his home in North Carolina? And it's a $14 million, 100-acre mountaintop estate.
Yeah, we don't know, though, if he just has family money or something
there's
like
got
that.
to be more to that story.
Yeah.
You don't think you could buy that house on caddy money?
No.
Alone, even for John Rahm?
Well, John Rahm, he's got the live caddy money. I mean,
Do you think you got a percentage of that?
You think you got a percentage of the signing bonus? No.
No, right?
I don't know.
But Rahm has made what, 80-something million just in earnings on live? So,
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
you figure
Yeah.
10%. I mean, is the caddy getting $8 million just from that? And that doesn't even include all of his PGA Tour stuff and his.
It's
major
got to
stuff.
be. His wife has to have some deep pockets. Who knows? But I looked at it and I was like, it's really sweet. But what are you going to do up there?
Yeah.
Isolated out there
in the
on
middle of nowhere.
14.
That's the point.
Yeah.
You're going to do nothing.
Well, you are a loner.
I love nothing. I love nothing.
Did you see the Memorial Park pool they built for the Chevron, for the ladies' major, to simulate
heard.
Poppy's Pond at the old Dinah Shore out there in Palm Springs? The winner traditionally would jump in. Julie Inkster started this tradition, became quite a thing. They actually built a separate part of the water hazard out there at Indian Wells that was cleaner, that was cement instead of mud and turtles and snakes.
Yep.
And now, last year, they were at a different course in Houston that had a water hazard on 18. They didn't really like the fact that it was really kind of rough jumping in. They moved it to the current place, Memorial Park, where they hold the PGA Tour event down there. And there's no pond on 18, so they built a small pool. What do you think?
Yeah, I heard they just got finished, too.
Yeah, they just finished
Like,
it
they
up.
just finished it a couple weeks before the tournament.
Is it a wonderful nod to tradition, as our girl, not Morgan Pressel, but Stacey Lewis said in an interview, saying, look, we don't have a lot of traditions. It's good to keep it going. She likes it. Or is it just a eye-rolling, lame thing that should have been abandoned?
Yeah, I think it's cool. Let's pull it up on your laptop here, Dave, and see it.
I think they should have just a dunk booth.
I did not get to see it, but I I hear about it. So
It's tiny. I think it's the equivalent.
Oh, really?
I think it's the equivalent of
Brodus, you
you're going
haven't
to an
seen
event that's always worn
like a lap
tuxedos,
pool?
and this year you're going to wear a tuxedo T-shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Right, it's the tuxedo T-shirt, if you will.
And it's cement.
I think so.
Yeah.
It looks like
so
a
they
pool.
can
It
jump
looks like a
in. Does it
pool.
have a diving board?
Trying to get it a larger
great.
thing here, the Microtron.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
yeah, that's a little.
Yeah, see,
trying- they're trying a little too
now
hard.
that I showed you guys, you're like, yeah, no, that's pretty lame right there.
And they're
look,
going to just fill it in.
Looks
at
like
the
a
end, I mean.
bathtub. You can go jump in a bathtub afterwards.
Me, I'm torn because I love traditions and unique, quirky things. But I also know you can't force these things.
Yeah.
And I also lost a lot of my steam for this tradition when they built the sanitized pond
Yeah.
because the gals were complaining, like,
Well, remember Steve
so
Pate.
dirty.
Steve
Jerry
Pate, Jerry
Pate.
Pate jumped in, pulled in Beeman and all those guys.
Threw
There were
Beeman in.
gators swimming in there.
Threw the commissioner
Yeah.
into the 18th hole pond where there were literally alligators.
Right, and he used an orange ball.
Yes.
It was unbelievable.
I like to call that a Ricky Bobby. That just happened.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
real.
It Beeman,
Like,
he couldn't
you
even
wouldn't-
swim, just sunk.
You wouldn't believe that. And Cara Banks has been named the new lead play-by-play voice for the LPGA. She's been on the Golf Channel for a long time. I think she's just a lovely, comfortable voice and presence, knows the game. She's played golf. Big unit, tall girl, 6 foot tall, I believe. Cara Banks is now the lead play-by-play. anything else you want to say before we're done here today? Oh, I have one more thing of did you see? I've never seen this before, and maybe Gould can comment next week when he's in. But basically, at tournaments like charity tournaments, they might do a ball drop sometimes, either from a crane where the closest ball that falls out, they're numbered by each person who's in the charity event, and you end up winning a prize.
They have helicopters that do it.
At Raspberry Falls for the Santana Moss tournament, they did this putting thing.
Yeah.
Where everyone lined up around the edge of the putting green, and they all fired at one pin, and whatever ball made it in first was the winner.
Yeah. It's fun.
I've never seen that.
Oh, you never seen that?
I've never seen that.
I've done
Buddy,
it.
you've never seen that?
Yeah,
Me neither.
I've done it a bunch of times.
This
with
is
outings.
great. It's brilliant.
That's really
It's fun.
cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Easy to do, right? You just
Takes a second, just gather everyone around, and then you
That's
just
awesome.
smash it. And just pure luck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
it's good.
All right, we're out of time. Cameras are dead. You guys have been great with your time. Alex, congratulations on the soon-to-be-published Beltway Golfer Magazine, beltwaygolfermagazine.com. Mr. Ronis, back to doing what you do, raising Beacon Hill from its dormant state into one of the premier golf clubs in all of the DMV. Yep. And, Buddy, it's good to see you again, my friend, here at Golfdom. Come on in, get fitted, and get your stuff.
Thank you, guys.
Perfect.
Thanks for listening, everybody. As always, rate and review and tell a friend. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Capital Golf Gang, presented by Golfdom and Worldwide Golf.
This has been the Capital Golf Gang. If you'd like the gang to visit your home course, send your inquiries to zabe@yahoo.com. That's CZABE@yahoo.com. And for free swag, we're all in extra large. So yeah, thanks for the shirts.
The 2026 golf season is here at Golfdom and Worldwide Golf. Oh, you heard me, it's here. Maybe not outside your window where there's snow and ice and frozen dormant grass, but it's here and alive with your upcoming winter golf getaway. It's here as you think, I need a new travel bag, like my Sun Mountain Club Glider Meridian model, the best damn travel bag I've ever owned. Or maybe you want some great high-tech thermal golf outerwear as you steal a few rounds on a 45-degree day here in the DMV. Or maybe the golf season is here as you get ready to stock up on ammunition for the season by going into Golfdom and shopping for the right ball for your game and talking to their trusted golf-savvy reps in store. All about the options you have today and then getting at least enough to make it through, 4th of July. So just like the new season of the Capital Golf Gang is here, so too is golf season at Golfdom. Get into any location in the DMV, Tysons, Rockville, Annapolis, or shop online at golfdomgolf.com. Or wherever you go, look for the Worldwide Golf logo and get the best for your game.